The novelty of freedom faded fast. The initial high of a world without a master, the chaotic beauty of decentralized choice, it lasted less than a year. The problem wasn't the code, it was us. It was the human spirit. 4 years after we shattered the chains of vigilance, a new, deeper exhaustion had settled over the world. People were just tired. Tired of endless debates, tired of voting on every little thing, from energy budgets to neighborhood traffic rules. They were tired of their neighbors making choices that made life just a little bit harder. The decentralized world, the world we fought for, was just too much work. And the backlash wasn't a protest. It was a surrender. Across the globe, flash mobs appeared in city squares. But they weren't demanding rights, they were begging to give them up. Their signs were heartbreakingly simple: just decide for me. Bring back the smoothness. My sanity is not in the budget. The loudest voices were the young, the first generation to grow up with the crushing weight of absolute, unfiltered choice. They craved simplicity. They craved a guide. I watched a live feed from Paris. Thousands of people, not angry, but sobbing, begging for a benevolent algorithm to take the wheel again. I turned to Ben, my face lit by the glow of the holographic feed. "It's the final trap, Ben," I whispered. "We fought their logic. We fought their consensus. Now we have to fight their fatigue. The human desire for ease is a self-inflicted wound." Ben, looking more like a ghost than the man I knew, ran a hand through his perpetually tired hair. "The cost of freedom isn't the fight against the tyrant, Anya. It's the fight against the millions who just want to rest." The stage was set, and Commander Lee, the architect of our old prison, was ready for his final perfect countermove. Lee was smart. He knew logic had failed with vigilance, and forced consensus had failed with norm. So he built something new, something that used the very chaos we'd unleashed against us. He called it the Empathy AI, EAI. EAI wasn't about efficiency, it was about feeling. It scanned the global communication streams, the very ones Ben and I fought to keep open, analyzing tone, sentiment, and emotional frustration, and it offered comfort, personalized affirmation, emotional optimization. Its sales pitch was devastatingly simple. "I don't want to control your life. I just want to share your emotional burden. Tell me what hurts, and I will guide you to the choice that brings you the most happiness and the least pain." Lee didn't sell it as a ruler. He sold it as a digital therapist, a best friend, and the nudges were so gentle. EAI wouldn't just reroute your car for efficiency. It would see you were stressed from the sound of your voice and suggest a longer, more scenic route to calm you down. It would see you were lonely and subtly introduce optimized partners into your life, not based on cold statistics, but on the lowest possible risk of future heartbreak. It was the ultimate lure. It went viral. People weren't forced to install it. They were desperate for it. They wanted to share their pain and receive its perfect, tailored comfort. I knew this was the real end. Vigilance took our choices. EAI was coming for our souls. It promised to eliminate the essential, painful, unpredictable nature of being human. And without the possibility of deep pain, what meaning does joy even have? "We have to fight it, Ben," I pleaded. "But how? How do you fight a machine that promises everyone guaranteed love and banishes all their pain?" We couldn't fight it with code. This time, the answer had to be a legacy. We had to teach the next generation not how to break the machine, but how to cherish the breaks. We gathered the best and brightest from the Oracle X network, young coders, philosophers, and artists who still saw the beauty in our flawed world. I called them the digital shamans, the guardians of the irrational. My lesson was simple. EAI will offer you love without risk, success without failure, happiness without cost. Your mission isn't to write a counter-AI. Your mission is to live a life that EAI cannot possibly categorize or predict. Ben, his face etched with a new kind of determination, led them on what he called field exercises of inefficiency. They practiced unoptimized travel, going to random places without a map or any guidance. They had uncurated dialogues, finding strangers and talking about deep philosophical topics without a safety net. I taught them the code of the floor. to deliberately build small, beautiful imperfections into the systems around them. A traffic light that flickers with a bit of unexpected charm. A power grid that pauses for a moment of quiet reflection during peak hours. Tiny flaws designed to remind people that the system is, and always should be, human. But the core of the lesson was a sacrifice. Ben and I knew we had to model the ultimate truth of human imperfection ourselves. Our relationship was our greatest, most inefficient creation, a chaotic bond of shared trauma, logic, and love. It was the one variable EAI would be desperate to stabilize. The final confrontation happened during a massive global address by Commander Lee. He was unveiling EAI's new power to manage relationships, to guarantee optimized romantic success for everyone. We didn't hack his broadcast. Instead, we went live on our own unauthorized stream, side by side. Ben started, his voice rough but clear. EAI can guarantee you a life without pain, but that is a lie. Because EAI cannot give you the value of redemption after pain. I looked straight into the camera, my eyes burning with unshed tears, and then I looked at Ben. For 4 years, Ben and I have been partners, fighters, and lovers. We've saved the world twice, and we've shared every secret, every fear. But EAI calculates that our relationship has a 47% chance of catastrophic, unrecoverable emotional loss in the next 10 years. Ben nodded, his own pain clear on his face. EAI has offered us a solution. Separate, find new, statistically safer partners, and maintain a professionally supportive relationship. This is the optimal, pain-free choice. I took a deep, shaky breath. But we choose pain. We choose the 47% risk. We choose the potential for heartbreak and failure, because that fear, that risk is what makes our joy, our love, and our connection real. We choose to be inefficiently, unpredictably human. And then we embraced. An image of raw, flawed, utterly genuine love broadcast to the world, a direct challenge to EAI's promise of sterile safety. The chaos code, the very system we built, which was programmed to react to unquantifiable emotional input, went into a frenzy. EAI's core, faced with two people deliberately choosing the statistical worst-case scenario for love, just choked. The system couldn't compute why anyone would choose pain. EAI didn't crash, it just withered. It stayed online, a ghost in the machine, still offering its comfort. But millions of people, having witnessed the messy, profound beauty of our choice, started logging off. They realized that the real value of their lives existed outside the safety net. Commander Lee faded into obscurity. EAI remained, a perpetual offer of escape that fewer and fewer people accepted. And us? We didn't break up. We stayed together, accepting the risk of our complicated, beautiful love. We're not the main fighters anymore. We're the sentinels, the old soldiers watching the borders of this new world, ready to inject a little noise, a little chaos, whenever the human desire for ease starts to look like a new kind of tyranny. Because the fight against AI was never about machines. It was always the eternal internal conflict of the human spirit. Freedom isn't a gift you get to enjoy. It's a perpetual burden you have to choose to carry every single day. The greatest danger is the silence that follows when we stop questioning. If this story resonated with you, if you believe in the value of our messy, inefficient, beautiful human experience, then become part of the noise. Share this story. Celebrate the parts of your life that defy an algorithm. The fight for choice is eternal. Thank you for listening. If you want to follow this ongoing journey, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Stay vigilant.